Singer and former Disney star Demi Lovato has been fairly open about their journey through gender and sexual identity. Putting your pronouns in your social media bios has become more and more popular in recent history, and not just with the younger generation, with celebrities and many business professionals as well. Over the last year, Demi Lovato has been using the pronouns they and them, and 2 months ago they added she and her alongside them in her Instagram bio. Up until now, she hadn't said anything about the change and why they chose to make that decision. While technically it is nobody's business and Demi did not need to provide an explanation to anyone, they did finally decide to speak up about the decision and what led to it in an interview on a podcast called Spout. So let's talk about that. The host asked Demi to explain the concept of pronouns like they and them, and Demi responded by saying the following. Yeah, so they/them is, I've actually adopted the pronouns of she, her again. For me, I'm such a fluid person that I felt like, especially last year, my energy was balanced in my masculine and feminine energy, so that when I was faced with the choice of walking into a bathroom and it said women and men, I didn't feel like there was a bathroom for me because I didn't feel necessarily like a woman. I didn't feel like a man. I just felt like a human. Many people struggle with the divide between gender identities and the stereotypes that come with them. She also explains how she doesn't hold any anger or disappointment towards those who may have a hard time with understanding pronouns and how to use them, saying, "That's what they/them is about for me. It's just about feeling human at your core. Recently, I've been feeling more feminine, and so I've adopted she, her again. But I think what's important is nobody's perfect. Everyone messes up pronouns at some point, and especially when people are learning. It's just all about respect." She first originally announced her gender identity in May of last year, coming out as non-binary on their own podcast where they spoke with another gender non-conforming performer. On the cast, she said, "Over the past year and a half, I've been doing some healing and self-reflective work, and through this work, I've had the revelation that I identify as non-binary. With that said, I'll be officially changing my pronouns to they, them. I feel that this best represents the fluidity I feel in my gender expression and allows me to feel most authentic and true to the person I both know I am and am still discovering." As many of us know, Demi Lovato was taking so much time healing and self-reflecting because of her substance issues, also recently announcing that she's pretty proud of her progress and is moving on from her past mistakes. On a radio show, the singer talked about her new upcoming album, as well as her coming to terms with and struggling with her sobriety journey. She talks about how others had an influence on her, saying, "I had people around me that wanted me to be sober, and I don't think that I wanted it. I just realized that none of it works for me. What's come into my life is acceptance. I'm in such acceptance of my life the way that it is that I really rarely think about substances, which is a beautiful thing and something that I never thought would happen to me." They spoke about how they tried being California sober, which basically means being sober from all substances but still partaking in grass. But on an Instagram story they wrote, "I no longer support my California sober ways. Sober is the only way to be." Demi Lovato seems to be doing much better and really coming into their own, talking on the same show about how she will be turning 30 soon and the impact this has had on her, saying they're not trying to be somebody else anymore, instead just accepting who she is. And that's all I have for you for now. I've been your host, Woody. Join us next time for more.